Oh, g'day, Keithy here. Thanks for joining me again. Glad to have you with me. So it doesn't really matter to me whether you're on TikTok or Ding Dong or Facebook or any of those other places, or whether you're a family member or friend of mine. We're all here today to have a look at this ute. Now, if you haven't seen the ute or haven't heard about the ute before, then hang on tight, guys, because I'm about to do a little bit of a video here because sadly the ute is going to depart the family. I don't want to, but I have to, and I'll explain a little bit more while we talk about everything that the ute has got to offer. So grab yourself a coffee, guys, and get ready to have a lovely little video of the ute. Well, we couldn't go without checking this out.
Preparing tyres now. G'day, Keithy here.
G'day, Keithy here.
G'day, Keithy here.
So I'm sorry about the weather. I couldn't really change that today. I wanted to do the video yesterday, but it was practically raining. So anyway, life goes on. So first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is what the ute is. Then we'll go around and have a look at all the cool stuff that goes with the ute. Start off with, what is it? Okay, so it's a 99 N99 VS Series 3 S-Pack ute. It's running the 5 litre and it's got the VT type injection, the multi-point fuel injection on it. So you'll see under the bonnet that it has the multi-point fuel injection system, the same as what the VT Commodores had. That's what's in this one. I've owned this ute for about 10 years now. The previous owner painted the ute before I bought it. In fact, it had been a couple of years since he painted it when I bought it. So I would say the paint job is about 13 years old. And I'm sure from where you're sitting, it actually looks pretty good for what it is. And it is, don't get me wrong. Kilometres wise, it's got just over 188,000. I've put probably maybe 15,000 if I'm honest onto this thing. I bought it when it had about 160, 165,000 Ks on it. 188 now. In the last year, all I've done is oil changes and about 85 kilometres in this thing, would you believe it? I'll tell you a bit of a story about the medical stuff that I've got going on later on if you want to hear about that, and that's the reason that I haven't driven this thing so much. Now, in the 10 years that I've owned it, what have I done? We'll go around and have a bit of a look at the car now. I'll talk about the cool features, and I'll talk about some of the little stuff that you guys might want to know about it before you come over and have a look, or if you're in a different state or part of Queensland and you want to come and buy this ute. Okay, so let's start from the front of the ute. She's in very, very good condition. First thing I will say is that it was painted a couple of years before I got it, so let's say 13 years ago. The previous owner also put the bonnet scoop onto the ute. I didn't put that on. He put that on and then painted the ute. It looks quite nice. It does grow on you. Some people say, oh, I don't like it, and I did when I first got it. I thought I was actually going to take it off and put another one on. I'm sorry, take it off and get rid of it. But it has grown on me, and it is just slightly different. At least it's not one of those super tall ones. And the reason for that is obviously this manifold doesn't require a bonnet scoop, so there's no real need for it anyway. Previous owner also painted the engine cover and the intake manifold line. I didn't do that, so everything in here, apart from one thing, the original owner of this car, who I bought it from, did. There's a white line sway bar, not a sway bar, sorry. It's a strut brace up the back there. It's got a set of extractors, headers, whatever you want to call them. That's a 2-month-old Century battery right there, and it's the high amperage one. There's 2 options there. I got the high amp. You can get a low amp one as well if you want to be cheap. All the belts are good. Every now and then you'll hear a squeak. It's been like that the whole time. I've replaced the belt with 3 different types of belts. There's 3 belts on there, and none of them stopped it from giving a little squeak every now and then. It does go away, but it doesn't squeak like continuously. It only squeaks on cold starts. As you can see, there is a thermo fan on there. Now, I did that. Originally, this radiator was in it when I bought it, had some leaks, so I've got a new one coming to put into it, exactly the same as what's there. This thermo fan is a BF Falcon thermo fan. I bought that myself because the fan that came with it was useless. It didn't keep the thing cool. This fan keeps it cool. I also made an electrical system, which we'll show you later in the dash, that runs the fan. Otherwise, everything in here is standard. The airbox is standard. It's all dirty, don't get me wrong. I haven't given this a wash whatsoever, but it is a lovely vehicle, very simple, and it's had its oil changes and it's had all of the attention required when it's needed. Okay, now we'll walk around the side here, have a quick look. It looks really good. So those Simmons wheels there are 20-inch wheels, 20. They've got tyres on them that are about a year old now. I bought new tyres for it a year old. Why did I have to buy new tyres for it, you ask? Well, they actually, the ones that were on it had big bubbles coming up on the side of the tyre. I don't know what brand they were, but they were terrible. So yeah, I had to get new tyres. The two fronts, funny enough, it was, that both got bubbles on them. These tyres are all in good condition, as you'll see. The wheels are also in very good condition. As far as scratch marks, there's tiny ones here and there, but you know, you'd have to be trying to find them if you wanted to make something look pretty dodgy. The rear, obviously the same, they're all the same tyres, so you can rotate front to back without a worry. Now we go up to the cover. The cover was made by my next door neighbour, funny enough, because he does auto upholstery and trimming. Great bloke. If you do want to go there, I can provide you with the details there. As you can see, the cover just comes out very easily. Oh, one-handed. It goes back in very easily. It's very resistant to the wind, so if you are on the highway or something like that, yeah, it'll flap around a tiny bit, but it'll stay on there. All magnets everywhere around here as well. And there's three poles on the back holding the tarp together. So like you'd find on the standard covers and whatnot, they flap around heaps because they've only got one
12 seconds later.
Because they've only got one.
3 days later.
Holding them up. This one's got 3. 1, 2, and 3. There's some amazing eyes might have noticed in the back. There is something else in here. And you'd be right. In the back there's a set of not one, but 4 17-inch VT SS wheels with tyres, I might add, and all 4 tyres are practically brand new. I'll show you that now in a little cut. Makes it nice and easy with that cover to open up the back of the ute. There you go, have a bit of a look around. While we're in the back of the ute here, you'll notice there's some tie down points. Now I put these in the ute, there are 4, 1 on each corner, and I've got one in the center as well, which you would have noticed before. I use that one to attach the dog's leash when we're taking him out. As you'll see down there, the dog's leash is attached to that. That's very handy because I love taking the dog out and I love taking him in the back of the ute because his hair can blow around everywhere and it doesn't get all over the cab of the vehicle. Now there's not much apart from the exact same stuff on the passenger side to what is on the back. As I've said a million times, I'm going to keep those Keithy plates, obviously, because my name is Keithy. So it's going to go with either a standard Queensland number plate, or I've got the DAD 304. If you live in Queensland and you pick the old girl up before a certain time, then you can have those plates with the car. Likewise with the VT 17-inch wheels in the back. They're also yours. I'm not going to ask you for any extra if you give me what I'm asking for, which I believe is a reasonable price. What I'll do now, I'll shut down the bonnet. We'll go and have a look inside the cab and we'll talk about how many Ks it's done and anything else that you might find interesting inside the car. Okay, so most of this is standard. It's this S pack, so it's still got the wind out windows. You'll notice there's a power window switch here. The previous owner put that in there. I don't know why he did that, but anyway, there's not power windows. You've got to wind them. All of the interior trims, other than the carpet obviously, have been painted by the, redecorated by the previous owner. It's not perfect, but it doesn't flap around. It's an interesting color. It sort of depends on your tongue. I think it looks okay. It does grow on you. No one's actually told me that I look like an idiot driving around in it. I'm going to jump in with you guys now and have a look. So the dash is good. You can see there it's done 185,000 Ks. First off, we'll go over here. So in this particular model, the Series 3, you can leave the headlights on, and when you turn the key off, the headlights will turn off once you've opened a door. So I always run with the headlights on. You'll also notice a switch down here, on-off switch. That is for the thermofan up in the front there. You might hear it. I don't know if you heard it or not. Off, on. Simple switch, so when you're running along, it's pretty easy. Turn the switch on, thermofan will run, keep the engine nice and cool. With the thermofan running, I have never, and I mean never, had the engine temperature go past a quarter. If you want it to get up a little bit more, or you're on the highway, feel free to turn the fan off, but it's not my responsibility once you have bought the car. If you overheat it because you've turned the fans off, that's on you, not me. Every time I start the key, I just flick that like that, and away she goes. The dash is in good condition, very good condition in fact, including the top section. The previous owner painted it silver, as you can see there. There's no cracks or anything on it. It looks really, really nice. Again, it's up to your taste. I mean, I didn't make it, so don't get at me. It's got the speed alert, aircon, hazard lights, all the usual features that you find in a VS Series 3 Ute. The Pioneer stereo was in it when I bought it, so that's now over 10 years old, and it's actually quite a good little stereo, if I'm honest. We've got the fan speed, all the usual stuff here as well. And if you notice back here, I've also got a massive Pioneer subwoofer, which again, the previous owner put into the car. But otherwise, all the seats are in really good condition. They're clean, they're tidy. You know, I can't really say too much more about the interior. Got the dash mat that's been on there again for a million years. So the dash is in really good condition as a result of that. So there you go. You've had a look around the Ute. You've had a look inside, outside, in the back. Everything is there. A couple of things that I forgot to mention, guys. The transmission, gearbox. It's not a transmission. It's, yeah, well, what? We can work that one out later. So the automatic box has been built. It's a stage 3. And you'll know, if you do come and take a test drive for this thing, you'll notice it as well. It's done about 20,000 Ks on that transmission, and it is built. It'll chirp the rear tyres changing gears. That's in drive. I don't use the gears manually. I just leave it in drive. It's a well-built gearbox with bugger all Ks on it, so you'll get years and years out of that. But I don't like the idea of people just whacking around and smoking the tyres up, because that's not what this car is all about, in my opinion anyway. But if you buy it, you do what you want to do. I'm not going to be there to stop you doing whatever. I've driven this car respectfully in its entire life, and I hope you do too, which is why it's still going really well for an old girl.
But there's more.
The other thing that I meant to mention is I've got LED lights for the park lights on this thing. Looks really good. It gives the headlights a slightly different colour about it too. And also underneath the number plate at the back there, there are LEDs as well. So looking at night, you'll notice it. It actually looks really, really nice at night time.
But there's still more.
What am I asking for it? I don't like talking money on the internet, or especially on YouTube and whatnot, guys. But in this case, I'm actually selling this thing, so I need to talk about it. I'm asking $22.5 for this thing. What are you going to get for $22.5? Everything you've just looked at then.
But I know you want more.
And if you buy it before the middle of May, I should say, I'll throw in those tyres that are in the back, and also the DAD 304 number plates for Queensland. If you live in Queensland, I'll chuck them in as well. By the middle of May, if you buy them then, you get all that stuff for free as well. So $22.5, you get the Ute, a complete set of 17-inch VT SS wheels and tyres. Tyres are practically brand new, all 4 of them. No, it's not because I did a skid. I actually bought them secondhand. One of them was blown because it had gone off the side of a gutter and popped the inside edge of the tyre, so there were radials sticking out from the way that it blew out. I don't know how they got away with riding that for a little bit.
Bring us in the next 15 minutes and we'll even include this 2-piece carving set. This is truly an amazing offer.
Either way, 4 tyres, all good looking tyres, about 90-95% tread left on them. Same with these ones here. They'd be lucky to have done 1,000 kilometres if I'm honest. If you're interested, you can get a hold of me on YouTube. Go down and comment here, or you can get on Facebook. Go to Chilling with Keithy. You'll find me there, You can comment there, ask me questions. If you want to come and have a look and you're in Townsville, this is where I am here, then by all means let me know. We'll work a time and a day and you can come and have a look, come for a drive if you want to drive. If you plan to drive it and try and spin the tyres, I'm going to kick you out and I'm not going to let you come back in, because that's not what you're going to come around here for. You take it for a spin, I'm going to be sitting there next to you, and if you do anything stupid, I'm going to punch you in the head. But otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you like the video by subscribing. If you want to subscribe, I've got a couple of videos with this Ute, and if you have a bit of a look through there. Range Rover stuff, camping, and if you're in the mines as well, I do a few mining videos. Next one up, hopefully, that you guys see, is going to be a mining video there. But otherwise, take care, guys. I hope to hear from some of you, and we'll see you next time. Take care.